to the Eugene Torto YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I want to thank everyone who's subscribed so far. And if you aren't subscribed, please hit the subscription button and the notification bell down below. Today's video is going to be not Corvette related, but I will be working in the shop in my basement, and it's kind of cold and blustery out and some snow flurries. So that being said, spring will be coming and it'll start warming up next week according to the weatherman. Hopefully he's right. So what I'm going to do is go outside and work on the grill. And as you can see in this video, it needs a good cleaning and it needs a new heat shield. So that being said, instead of just spending, I could just spend $5 on a new heat shield, I think, at Home Depot or Lowe's, but instead I'm going to go downstairs. I got some 304 stainless that's been sitting down there, 16 gauge I think it is, and I'll just make up a new heat shield. Hopefully that will go well. So let's get to the shop in the basement. Okay, here we are in the basement. I have my piece of cardboard, and I have my 304 stainless, the cardboard, and of course this rusty old heat shield. And what I'm going to do is, if you can see, already see where I already started the marks, and I'm just tracing them around, laying it out, allowing for this lip here. I don't know if you can see that, I hope so. And then I just traced out, rolled it over, traced it, and instead of tracing all the way along here, I'm just making some marks come out, and to allow for that lip. And then I'll just make a straight line with any straight edge I can get my hands on. Let me see, I think I have something here. And there you go. I just need to cut this out, transfer it to this 304 stainless steel, which is 16 gauge. Hell, a lot heavier than that. It'll probably outlast the grill. And cut some holes, and I should be good to go. Keep in mind, I think these are like $5, like I was saying. Oh, falling apart there. These are like $5 at Home Depot or Lowe's, and probably a bit cheaper and easier every year to just buy a new one of these, or even just pick up a couple of them. But I'm going to go ahead and utilize this 304 stainless I have laying around forever and put it to good use. So here we go. Let's see. Let's get this cut and transferred, and we'll be on our way here. That should work, and I think the way I'm going to cut this is I'll just use a cutoff wheel, which means lots of sparks are going to fly. So let me put my lens cover on and get my face mask, and I'll get my angle grinder set up here, and there you have it. And I got the diamond wheel on there, so I'll use the main cuts for that. I could try and use this, and that will be pretty hard to do with 304 stainless. I also have it, let's see if I can find it. It's a one of these nibblers you hook to a drill, and there it is. And I've used this on the 304 stainless, and even though it works, this works excellent on most sheet metal, but on 304 stainless it has kind of a hard job, and it wears these little cutters in there out really quick. So I'm not going to use that. I'll just use the the angle grinder with a diamond blade on it, metal cutting diamond blade, and do that. Okay, I already started cutting. I need to finish cutting it. I thought I had the camera on and was already cutting, so let's go ahead and finish the cut, and then turn it around and finish cutting the rest. How about last guy? Now let's cut these. Worked on my grill, believe it or not. Yep. Okay, coming along really well. This is doing a lot better job than I thought on this 304 stainless. I wore the name off it. It's a Lennox metal cutting blade, 4.5 inch. Using it on my Porter cable, angle grinder. This has been holding up really good, this angle grinder, which is more than I could say about the couple of Harbor Freight ones I went through. That being said, now I need to groove this and then bend it. So I think I'm going to groove it first, or try and make it match this. And like I said, I'm still not sure how I'm going to do these grooves. So I could just go zip, 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 zip like that. I don't think that's going to work very well. There's no way I'd be able to duplicate them just like that. I'm not going to try and do them precisely. I could just put a bunch of smaller grooves in it. Could even get my Dremel motor tool and try that, but I'm probably better off drilling holes and drilling a bunch of holes and then trying to slot those holes. That might be my best opportunity there. So let me dig out all my drill stuff, and I'm going to need a good drill bit for this. I believe I have a cobalt drill bit in 1/4 inch or something like that. So let me see if I can dig that out, and we'll get drilling and cutting. And all that okay, I already made a cut here. I ended up doing that with the angle grinder with a grinding disc on it, and then I had to take a Dremel motor tool to do it, but I ended up not having a cobalt drill bit I thought I had in size I need it, and but this black oxide one here seems to be holding up really good. It's an American-made drill bit. That makes a difference in my opinion. Even though I buy a lot of Chinese junk, I think American-made steel is better than anything else. One thing this country does well is makes good steel. And this is an old drill bit. This probably goes back to the 60s. I inherited this drill bit. That being said, I'll probably have to sharpen it a bunch of time to finish all these holes, but I'm going to make a bunch of holes down, and then I'm going to try and just grind out between the holes with the disc. I'm using my trusty Black & Decker 3/8 drill. I don't know if anybody's seen in my other video where the skill saw, the skill drill that I have, gave up the ghost after years and years of abuse, so I'm using this for now. And I'm using Tap Magic cutting fluid. Why am I using Tap Magic cutting fluid? It improves surface finish, machinability, tool life, highly effective on all metals. I always try and use this when cutting metal. I use it on like my Sawzall. I use it on drill bits. I use it on taps. I use it on milling machine, on mill cutters. It helps helps keep the metal a little cooler while you're cutting it, and keeps the metal from work hardening, and just pretty much like what it says. So anyway, other important thing is use a good punch. So otherwise your drill's going to wander. Even with punching it, I'm still getting a little wandering. So I'd have to sharpen this. You don't know what kind of punch this is. This is, I believe, tungsten carbide firing pin from a howitzer. That's something else I inherited from my dad. And these work real good. These work better than any punch store-bought punch that I ever had. That being said, and by the way, I'm using this big magnet. Hold that in place. It's working real well. Just a little dab will do you on cutting fluid. In case anyone's wondering how I'm able to use both hands and hold the camera, I'm using a chest mount camera holder that I got in this kit of all these camera mounts, and I have to say it's working pretty good so far. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm back, and what I ended up doing is using a small drill bit and punching a bunch of guide holes, starter holes. I was a little leery doing that on the 304 stainless because you do got to worry about it work hardening, and it makes it tough for the drill bit to go through. But it actually worked real good. I actually punched these holes out here in like a minute, all these small ones, and it's working out using the drill bit that I was using before. And it's working out real well, so I'm going to go ahead and continue that, finish these up real quick, and then continue the other side, and then I'll bend it. But, I'm also using my cordless. I think the chuck holds a little bit better on my cordless. Pretty sure this is a Jacob chuck. The truck on my Craftsman over there, that's a Black & Decker. That's a Jacob chuck too, but it doesn't seem to be holding as well, and so it's I'm still getting slip, which I don't like, but that's the nature of the beast, I guess. So, we'll cutting oil, and we'll continue. Should also note that slightly slower speed. This is as fast as this thing goes. Seems just to work a little bit better, and probably won't burn the drill bit up as fast. So, of course, it's slipping. Oh well. Okay, this is where I got so far. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 holes to finish. And I had to switch to my corded drill because the battery died on the cordless. And this one here is starting to smoke. This will be the second drill I've smoked in one of my videos. Now let's finish it off, see what happens. Smoke we can get out of this drill there. There's drill. I don't know if you can see the smoke in this video or not, but boy, this baby is smoking. So, all I can do is wait for I can do one, take this out to the garage and stick it in my mill drill lathe combination machine out there. That, hopefully that won't smoke. That shouldn't. That should go right through this, no problem. That being said, I'll probably just wait for my drill battery to charge, because that's a quick charger and charges pretty quick. But, smoked another drill. Woo! Ow, that ain't even working now. Oh well. Alright, I'm back, and I finished drilling the holes, and I started grinding the slots. Grinding the slots, you got to grind through one side, then flip it over, grind through the other side, and then flip it over one more time, and you still end up with that right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. I'm still getting used to using this chest mount for the camera, so let's go ahead and finish cutting the rest of these slots. I ended up taking a wore out disc, and that seems to work pretty good, pretty quick and fast and dirty, and it's not as precise or clean looking, but it works. So I got a couple of these wore out discs. I always save them because for small jobs like this where you want a smaller diameter, it always works better. Okay, here we go. Alright, their old slots are cut out. As far as I'm concerned, that was the hard part. I definitely got my money's worth out of these discs. that is definitely done. I got it right down to the end there, and this one too. That being said, when discs get this low like this, I'm not sure if they're more hazardous and more capable of flying apart. Maybe somebody's professional out there will chime in and give their opinion, but it's something to be concerned about. It's one of these flying apart on you. Remember, wear gloves, wear a face shield or a mask, or at least eye safety. I also, because I'm in my basement, I have, I don't know if you can see it here with this. There we go. That's my little air filter. I use that and get some cross ventilation. That definitely helps when it with the fumes and so forth. So on to the bending process. One thing I will say, I never tried that before with a magnet on a piece of stainless steel. Stainless steel not being magnetic, it definitely did a good job of holding that down. Of course, that's a good magnet. I think if I were to use a piece of regular steel like this, you know, that works too. I don't think it works as good as stainless steel, because stainless steel not being magnetic, this works more like a clamp than if you put it here. But even though I've used magnets like for welding and stuff and other things like this, I've never used a magnet like that, and I guess I taught myself a new trick. Hopefully taught some other tricks too. Now on to the bending process. In case you're wondering, this is a Harbor Freight bench mounted, I think it's 36-inch metal bender, and I made this stand for it some time ago. I took some these pipes here with that T in it at the bottom there. That used to be a clothesline pole when I first moved in here. Since I don't hang my clothes on a clothesline, I just cut it down. It makes it easier to cut the lawn. And basically I just hacked them off and hacked off the long ends on them and turned them upside down, and did some welding and used whatever scrap metal I have laying around so I don't spend any money other than welding wire, and it worked really well. So that being said, let's get on to the bending process. I just noticed a problem in the bending process. This thing here needs to be deburred. So before we go into the bending process, I'm going to have to deburr this so it lays flat on there. Oh well. On to another step. Okay, the deburring process is done, and I'm going to slap this baby on here. And if no one's ever used one of these, it's about as basic a metal bender as you can get. Hell, you could make yourself one if you wanted to. That's how basic it is. And basically you lined up where you want it. You got to allow a little bit, especially with the thickness of the material and a hard, thick material like this. You got to allow yourself a little bit more overlap. Hopefully you can see that. This is my first time using this. I'm getting used to this chest, camera chest mount that I'm wearing, and so it's taking me a little bit. So hopefully you can get a good view. And the way basically it works is I just use C-clamps on it. Let's see here. Sometimes I'll use those other clamps I have, but this will work. Really, I'm better off putting them down like this. Gives you more play. Get it in there as much as possible. Let me flip that over. Now this stand, I never bolted this stand down, but it does work. Yep, that's definitely 304 stainless. And it definitely doesn't want to bend. Now, this is going to take a little work. I might have to hammer bend this. That's the problem with something hard like 304 stainless, even though it's sheet metal, 16 gauge. Definitely need a little more clamping force. I may actually have to heat it with a torch. Soften it up, but for now, let's try it again. Yeah, it's just pushing it back. So one thing bad about this, like I said, it is Harbor Freight. Hey, there are other companies that make the exact same thing, so you can't really, can't blame Harbor Freight entirely. It's just what's out there, and it is cheap. So I'm definitely going to have to heat that. Okay, I'm just cutting a line in there right along. I'm finding I'm having to go pretty deep. One thing I find works really good is these diamond cutoff blades for when doing something like that, and you use a piece of metal like this for a guide. Unlike a grinding disc or a normal cutoff disc like this one here, this would grind through here, and it also would grind into your guide. So I'm finding out that this diming wheel and using this as a guide is working really well, because it doesn't grind into this piece, it just grinds down. That being said, I need to grind this quite a bit to get it to bend. This is actually turning to be more difficult than drilling the holes. I'm really wishing I went and spent that $5 now. That being said, I might as well finish the project. So, let's see if I can get this to bend. I know one thing I'm learning is I think another project is I'm gonna modify this sheet metal bender. I'm trying to remember if this 304 stainless is 14 gauge or 16 gauge. I think it might be the 14 gauge. I'll have to measure it. But I definitely need to readjust this. Hopefully I won't have to grind it down anymore. I'm a little leery of going too far. There is another option. I could just bend the ends and go from there. And just bend like these ends here, just make some cuts and bend the ends and leave the over flap. I'm pretty sure I could do that. So this might be my other option. Okay. There we go. Will it bend? It's bending a little bit. Well, it's bending better. Uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, this thing here is pushing back. So sometime in the future I'm going to do a video where I modify this, and so it can't be slid back. In the meantime, one of the reasons it's probably sliding back is this 304 stainless is so smooth it's not gripping. But that being said, I am going to one more time make another grinding cut, and another cut with the diamond blade. Let's just then try it again. it's bending a little. Yeah. Turning out to be quite a bit of work. Now let me try the other side. I ain't getting nowhere with this. I think I know the solution now. Well, it did bend a little. That might actually be enough, actually. It just needs to set it in place. Wow. Whew. Yeah. Okay, on to plan B. Okay, I'm back again, and I don't know if you can see that here, but I took the cutoff blade and made a slit right down the middle, except for like within a couple inches of the end, and hopefully that's going to allow it to bend a lot easier. I have bent sheet metal with this, first time bending this 304 stainless, so let's see if this does it. Hell yeah, that's doing it. Look at that. And about there. I think that'll do it. Let's see. Let's check it with this one anyway. Maybe not. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe not. Yeah, that is good. Yeah, that is good. I can always bend it more if I have to. I would like to bend those lips a little bit more. Let's go. I'm going to go try it on the grill and see how it goes. Okay, here we are out in the cold again. It actually fits in there pretty nice. I do need to shorten the ends just a little bit. It looks like I just need to take off on these ends here, and that'll make it fit in better. I need to bend this end a little better. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but for what it is, I'm happy. And let's go back inside where it's warm. And like I said, once this grill gets fired up a couple of times, it's not going to look pretty anyway, but I think this slit in the middle is going to be actually better, because it seems like all the heat comes up the sides, and you have to place your burgers like right here on the end when you put them on the grill. You can't really cook anything in the middle because no heat comes up. So this is actually going to work out good, that slit in the middle, I think. So we'll find out. Grilling weather's coming soon, so. Okay. There it is. That's about as much as I'm going to do to it. I ground off the backside where the sticky tape is. I'm going to do that a little bit more, and then I'm going to put it in the grill, clean that grill up better, and fire it up, and make sure I completely burn all the contaminants off. And I'll wipe it down with something like degreaser and stuff, and then do that and burn it off. But I have to say I'm real happy. It's definitely looking a lot better than this. Let me get that out of the glaring light there so you can see it. And learned quite a few things, like things that I never tried before, like using a straight edge with a diamond blade. That actually worked really well. I'm going to be doing more of that in the future. As far as holding 304 stainless to a metal table, this magnet worked great. Everything I learned is using heavier gauge metal in my cheap eBay bender doesn't work too well. That being said, in the future video, I'm going to modify this. So if you want to see what happens with that, subscribe and hit the like button and the notification bell. And thanks for watching. I hope we all learned something from this video. And come on back, and God bless.